Session for the tracking.
Yeah, we'll do.
Let's have it. Session test verification.
I will.
Anything else? I think we have indexer.
Yes, we need to add
Info
this.
index.
And me also. Info Excel.
Okay. Anyone else still want to take some position, or we are done? Okay, let's move on to check in.
We need to check in now, maybe.
Okay, as we have going to start our session, and we will go for our session of check-in. So for the very first, I would like to invite Albina to please check in first.
Okay. I'm great today. Don't have much to say. I'm at 5.
Okay, Abdul.
Yeah, I'm pretty much good today, and also really fresh mind also. And 7 today.
Okay, can we have Lucy next, please?
Yeah, hello guys. Today I'm okay. I'm at 6.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm happy to be back. I'm getting back in the rhythm of things. Certainly not anywhere close to being caught up on everything, but feeling pretty good. I'm also excited about the quarter moon session coming up in a bit, and probably like around 6. Check.
Okay. Well, after a long time, I'm able to, finally I'm back on track now. And I've spent a whole lot, a month back there. It was very much excited for me, and we'll discuss later on in more details about my experience. And I'm on 6.5 today.
Okay. Thank you for that. The next step is going to our desired outcome. Our desired outcome. What are our desired outcome? Anyone can contribute on that.
Well, I have a few I could suggest. One is to get our scheduling clear and make sure You know, everyone is taking care of themselves. Obviously, we want to move forward with getting the Austrasia session, Austrasia Quintet organized. And obviously, most of this is going to be recruitment. And then also get prepared for the quarter moon session. Oh, maybe
That was. Yeah, please.
Make sure we know what our weekly priorities are.
Okay. Is there any other desired outcomes from you guys? Anyone else?
So can you discuss here life support?
Yeah. Thank you.
And maybe we can more organize on life support. Discuss and more organize life support.
Okay, I think
So that would be
for desired outcomes. Do we all agree on the desired outcomes?
One problem with discuss more, get organized on life support. Well, I guess that could be desired outcome. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so we have got an agreement on desired outcomes. So now coming towards the priority topics.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go over recruitment. Other things is the quarter moon session topics. There are lots of them. We could go over some of those, so we should review that early.
Weekly priority.
How many minutes on our topics?
I think the topics are not, people are not yet running.
So we're just assigning the minutes.
We will just assign when people agree with those topics.
You can assign minutes at any time. It's perfectly fine to assign minutes.
Okay. When we are going to discuss our budget for next month.
What would be the desired outcome?
The desired outcome is to approve, to get our budget approved next.
That's a really not a very clear desired outcome. So the idea of getting a budget approved would be a desired outcome. So a desired outcome is something that you accomplish now in the next hour. So to get the budget approved might not be possible during this hour or in 10 minutes, or to get the budget approved next month is also not possible. So you just want clarity on the desired outcome. Maybe you don't have a desired outcome, you just want to talk about the budget, which is also perfectly fine. And then it's not a desired outcome, it's just a topic.
Okay.
Can we discuss on the new session, new weekly session of Central Asia?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, Central Asia.
Central Asia session, yeah. Which will be, I think, we decided of 11th of September we are going to start it. So we can have a little bit discussion on it.
Central Asia weekly session, main weekly session. I think this first, maybe first Central Asia weekly session.
So again, what I did here is I put both of those topics, the budget and Central Asia session, under other topics because they're not clearly stated what the desired outcome is. So we want to accomplish our desired outcomes first, and then there's other topics that we could go over. Also, the Central Asia session isn't the focus of the Austrasia session. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
So in terms of just like designing your topics, I mean, obviously you can prioritize Central Asia above other things, but you just want to make sure it's clear. Because we always have limited time.
Okay, that's it from the priority topics. Or do we have some more? Anyone? I think that would be enough to discuss, in this session.
Well, let's just make sure we got our desired outcome. So scheduling, getting our scheduling clear is obviously a topic. So scheduling is a topic that needs to be on there, right? So you should be able to go through the desired outcomes and create topics. So moving forward with Asia Quintant, right? So there might be, setting up Austrasia Quintant. Getting prepared for the quarter moon session. So we're going to review the quarter moon topics. That's good. Make sure we all know what weekly priorities are. What the weekly priorities are. Okay, so that would be weekly priorities. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like we have the desired outcomes, so now you turn the desired outcomes into topics.
Yeah.
So Asif, can you help do that? And you just want to make sure each desired outcome has a correlating topic or has like a topic that is, related to that particular desired outcome. So the topic for the desired outcome of discussing and getting more organized on life support would just be life support.
Life support.
Life support is the topic, but the desired outcome is to discuss and get more organized on life support.
On life support.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay now.
I think it's okay for as of now, yeah.
So the only one missing is the scheduling.
Scheduling. weekly budget.
No, this is the session scheduling. Do you want to talk about scheduling? This is for the session. Do you want to talk about buddy team scheduling?
No.
Okay. Cool. That looks
Yes, we
good.
can talk about both of them. Buddy team schedule. Because most of the time people forget to make sure that the calendar, the buddy team scheduling is happening every day end of the week.
That makes more clear now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's if we relate desired outcomes to priority topics, it is more understandable now.
Yeah, the desired outcomes are really important because that's what defines your goals for the meeting. Because you can talk about anything endlessly, but if you don't accomplish what you want to get out of the meeting, done a good meeting, right? So as long as we accomplish these desired outcomes, we're fine. And then if we don't get to everything else, that's okay.
I think scheduling will take 10 to 15 minutes, or might possible it will go long.
Okay, no problem.
What about setting up internet? Will it take all 5 to 10 minutes?
Which one?
Setting up 5
to 10.
Yeah. Okay. Do you all guys agree with our today priority topics?
Yeah, okay. Agree with it.
Any objection?
No.
Agreed on it.
Then we can now, as if we'll introduce our first topic.
Okay, so we have we have to discuss about the budget. We have to get updates on October-November budgets.
Yeah, this is just a quick update. It's the only update that I have that's super important, which is that the September 1st is the deadline for the October-November budget for main buddy team and provisional buddy teams. So we just need to remind everybody in the team, especially all the new people, that if they want to adjust or change their budgets at all, that's the deadline, September 1st. And that would take effect mid-November. Questions about the budget deadline? Been having a lot of confusion in the past.
I have no question.
Confusion.
Clearly.
Cool. And then just to make sure it's really clear, we're also simultaneously finalizing the budget for mid-September for the September-October budget. Right? When all of those have already passed, we've already approved everybody's individual budgets for that
Yeah.
particular month, or not approve them. We've already finalized, and each buddy team has approved their proposals for the budget. Cool. So that's it for me on the updates. I mean, there's plenty of other things, but we're going to cover it within all the topics.
That was
So
very quick from. Yeah, you should go ahead.
I was to ask something, but I forgot. Okay, so you said for August, is it August? September, October is on next month first.
So the past deadline was August 1st for the September. No, for the September-October budget, which is going to be done on September 9th, I think is the date. Let me see. September 9th, yes. So the new budget is due September 9th. And then the new deadline is September 1st for the October-November budget, which will be created for October 14th. Is the actual budget date. Does that make sense, Lucy?
Yeah. So for October is already now. I mean, September, October already updated, already approved.
Yeah, so nobody can change their budget proposal for September, October. They can only change their budget proposal for October, November. So when you talk to people and you update them, make sure they understand that if they want to make a change, that it's not for this budget, it's for the next budget.
Okay. We are talking of the budget that approved the last time on full moon session.
This is going to be for the next budget.
Okay. What about now? For me, last time there was misunderstanding, and we did not. Our budget was not approved. What am I going to use? I'm still using the budget that I proposed.
You would use whatever budget that your buddy team, James and Lucy, approved for the September-October budget.
Okay.
And so if you guys did not approve anything, then it automatically defaults to the previously approved budget proposal.
Okay.
And everybody needs to, and so the deadline for September 1st is the deadline for you to have your buddy team meeting. Everybody would have a buddy team meeting. So September 1st is the deadline to have main and provisional buddy team meetings about your personal and team budgets. Does that make sense? So for example, with you and Lucy, Lucy, in order for you to give a new budget proposal for October, November, you and James have to have a meeting and approve a new budget between the two of you for October, November. By September 1st.
One important thing we have
What about November, October?
October, November budget, yes.
Or what about September, October? I mean September, October.
September, October, the deadline was August 1st, which was a month ago.
Okay.
So you and James should have had a meeting before October 1st, and I remember you proposed something. So, unless James was against it or whatever, I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. but you know, you guys should be working together with your buddy team. If your buddy is not cooperating and is not working, you should find a new buddy that works with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to every individual, and you can have up to 3 main buddy teams. So if your buddy team's not working for you, it's like, find a new buddy team of someone who is willing to meet the deadlines and make sure you're meeting and communicating. Your main buddy team is very important to be communicating with regularly. Your buddy team proposal, it shouldn't be very complicated. It should only take, you know, a few, like a half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think we have to, you know, understand over there that we have to make 2 separate budgets. It's not actually the separate one. It should be one for personal and one for the team, which should be approved.
yeah, I mean, it's basically like, here, let me explain on where are we updating the budget. So let me show you like the budget proposal process, right? /steps. Right? So each individual proposes a budget to their buddy team, their main buddy team, or provisional. Then, so that's step 1, right? Then 2 is that each main buddy team, you know, or provisional buddy team, approves a combined budget proposal to their main weekly session team, right? So their main team. Right? 3, then each main weekly team, this would mainly be quintants, right, etc., approve their team budgets. And then 4, and these would be team budgets, and send proposals if necessary to the full teams and global core team / you know, the executive teams, right? The higher level. So then you have the global core team. Global core team approves the full team budgets, and overall budgets. And then 5 is that you have executive and boards approve budgets, approve final budgets as able. And then the last one is the HR board. HR board is the final approval. And right now this is primarily Heather. Right? Heather's the highest level HR board member, and so she basically controls the final decision because she's an independent mediator. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the budget process never stops. It never stops. It's constantly going.
Okay. So it's better if you share your screen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's see if it works. Share screen. There.
And 2 minutes left to discuss these topics as a timekeeper.
So we need to index this information into the budget doc. Someone could do this. Very important.
Okay.
So this is really this topic here was really an update on the budget. So the budget processes and stuff. So we want to put that into the video indexing too.
Okay, now that was, you know, a detail of the budget from Jay. So shall we move to the next topic, please? I mean, we have to prepare.
This is not
review
me.
the
Like
topics
somebody
of-
else needs to index this information. I think it was
Yeah.
Lucy or Abdul. Someone was going to index this.
Yes, I do that.
Abdul. Okay, cool. Thank you. And you know where to find the budget doc, right?
Yeah, you can count this one, no problem.
Cool. Great.
Okay, the next step, I think if people are okay with that, we can move on the next topic. Or to the next. The next topic is
Review quarter moon topics.
quarter moon topic.
Okay, we can just really quickly. So there's a lot of things that we could potentially discuss for the quarter moon. Obviously, there's the recruiting and the updates with the budget. We might have to talk more about the budget. There's the monthly goals that we want to review and make sure people know what they're doing. The quintet preparation. There's the new position description for the senior managers because that's the people who are supposed to be attending the quarter moon sessions. The level 4 schedules, there's some level changes that we might want to do and some liaisons to our clients. And there's also other positions that we want to make sure are clear. There's the 4 types of positions. This is very important. There's a proposal about a seats pay. We might be able to talk about that here too. But and then there's also a proposal on tax forms that affect everybody's pay. Systems for buddy team coordination. This is the most important thing here is this one. I'm going to put some stars by it. And we're going to be evolving and making some major changes to our systems for buddy teams because things are getting a little bit disorganized and all over the place. And then there's also major changes for value tracking, budgetary changes that are going to be taking place, as well as the UMBUS, which is the umbrella businesses that we need to talk about. So yeah, there's a lot of really exciting things for the quarter moon session. I don't know if we'll get to any of those now, but because we have so many other things to talk about. But I just wanted to let you guys know if there's any other things we want to plan for the quarter moon session. Otherwise, it's coming up in just a few hours. Hopefully other people will be there, but who knows? Maybe it'll just be the 5 of us. It's always possible.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really quick, really quick from Jay. And
yeah, and if we're able to get through all of these other topics, then we might be able to go through some of that now too. But yeah, I think we're fine. I think we have a pretty good agenda. But I want to make sure you guys know about all these other topics that we want to go over at some point.
Okay.
Lots of things that are changing and evolving. It's kind of like a quick update too. But I'm not going to go into any of the details right now.
Yeah, I just want to discuss 2 things here, if you allow me, about this 4 types of position. Positions means that executives or managers.
Well, we have lots of positions, but there's 4 types of positions. There's responsibilities, and then there's or 4 types. It's not positions. It's 4 types of work. So there's responsibilities that we assign responsibilities. And then there's positions, and then there's a whole bunch of positions that we have. And then there's processes and systems. So we're going to start getting more, because right now we almost exclusively talk about responsibilities, and that's going to change. And we need to start talking about positions, processes, and systems as well, because we're kind of getting caught up in the responsibilities, and there's just more to do than just responsibilities, and we gotta, do more. So people need to step up into some of the positions. The highest position at any particular time is the senior manager. So we're going to continue to go more into detail. We've done the elections. We know who the senior managers are. We just don't have enough support to implement the quintents and the senior manager shifts. But the senior manager position is evolving. There's going to be 3 components of it. We're going to go over it in detail during the quarterman session. But then the other position that helps coordinate the entire steering team would be the co-chairs. So the co-chairs help support and coordinate all of the senior quintent managers, but the senior quintent managers themselves are the highest level in any particular time, but the co-chairs are kind of like a support system for that. So there's less co-chairs than there are senior managers. So there'd be 10 senior managers and only 3 co-chairs. So that's another, and then the co-chairs would meet on the 25% 8th moons, 25%, 75%. 8th moons. So anyways, we will talk more about that later.
Right.
Yeah, but does that answer your question?
Yes.
Cool.
It was clear.
So I think we're ready to move on.
Look, I think the next topic is setting up Austrasia Quintal.
Oh, great. Excellent. So, I think we pretty much know the process now about just all the things that go into setting up a quintent, which include the scheduling and the weekly main sessions and the main docs, or not the main docs, but the super team docs and all of that kind of stuff. So we want to make sure that we have our doc updated. I don't think we even have it up here. Where's the oh, here we go. Austrasia main session doc. It's just missing in there. It's just a big mess up at the top. Again, I really want to encourage us to get extremely organized, right? Every time you list docs at the top of every other doc, like here, right? There should be a reason to do it. For example, right? This is part of getting organized and getting our team organized, right? What should be the top doc at the top of all the other docs, the very, very top? Of the Austrasia. No. No. If you're going to have the global super team doc, the global work weekly daily list of documents, it's like that should all be linked inside the Austrasia. I mean, we don't even need these here. It's like, why even have them here, right? I mean, it's great to have them there, but that's not necessary. And look, you have it twice, the global weekly daily list of documents. I mean, this is just messy. You guys see what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
It's like this sloppiness is just shows. It's like we're paying people. All of us are getting paid right now to be here. So because we're getting paid to do this, we should be double and triple and quadruple checking this. I mean, what if we were doing this for a client, right? We do lots and lots of meeting notes for clients all the time. And if we just sloppily put all these random links at the top of their doc, that would look really bad. Why would they be paying us to basically, we should be doing it perfectly, especially when we're practicing, right? So I should be, while I'm saying this should just be changing before my eyes, right? It's like, what are the actual docs that need to be listed here at the top?
I think in this first session, main session doc, and Asia Master Weekly daily notes. This was important to hear.
So the first thing here is that, you know, my assumption here in looking at the Austrasia main session doc is that the Austrasia main session just hasn't happened since I was around last. That you guys just skipped it and ignored it and didn't do it for multiple weeks. So which means that today is the 4th Austrasia main session. So that needs to be updated. So if we're going to get our own organization organized here, we need to do it, right? So this should all happen automatically. I shouldn't need to say that this needs to happen, right? This is like some of the highest level stuff that we need to do as workers, is make sure all of our documents are organized so people know where to find them. So we need to link today's doc. So we have the Austrasia Super Team doc, right? So if you're organizing the Austrasia Super Team, you put that at the bottom, and then the Austrasia main session doc would be a subset of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you see how this is really organized here?
Yes.
Right? You have the Austrasia Super Team doc. If you click on the Austrasia Super Team doc, all of the things that are listed there should all be linked there. And this is also a pretty big mess here, but we'll let that slide. Right? So basically, you know, all of this stuff is really just a big mess that exists already in the Austrasia Super Team doc. So it's like, why do you need to make that big mess on every single notes doc when you can just see that big huge mess, you know, here in the Austrasia doc? So this is just like ridiculous mess that this is probably not necessary. The only things that you link above is going to be things that are bigger than the Austrasia Super Team. So is the Asia Weekly Master Daily Notes schedule bigger than the Austrasia Super Team? Does anyone not understand what the Austrasia Super Team is?
Yeah.
Yes, you understand what the Austrasia Super Team is? Lucy, do you understand what the Austrasia Super Team is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys say yeah and okay and yes and blah, blah, blah all the time. Let's just like, please respond in a way that makes sense. That's communication.
Okay, sorry. I understand about.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you understand what the Asia Master Weekly Daily Notes schedule is?
Yes.
Okay, so is the Asia Master Weekly Daily Notes schedule a bigger structural part than the Asia Super Team? Who was that? Was that Albina?
Yeah.
Is the Austrasia Weekly Master Daily Notes schedule a larger structural component from the Asia Super Team?
Not really.
It's not really, yeah, so we delete it. We don't need it there. It's under the Super Team. You have it under important documents that people can have, right? Important documents.
Yeah.
The Inter-Team Communications doc, is that bigger than the Austrasia Super Team? Structurally?
No.
No. Okay, so you put it under important documents. The Global Weekly Daily List of Documents, is that bigger than the Austrasia Super Team?
No.
No. Okay. Is the Global Weekly Daily List of Documents need to be listed twice after it was already not bigger than the Austrasia Super Team?
No.
No. Okay, great. How about the global Super Team doc?
It's okay there.
Good.
That
Yes.
one is
But what is the problem with it? What's the problem with it?
For me, I don't see any problem when you put a global super there.
But why does it say the global Super Team doc? Right? It's just like fix it, make it look.
In fact, there's a repetition because
Yeah, there's
we
a
already have
repetition.
the global super team up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
double scenes. So it's like a repetitive thing, right? The Asia Super Team doc. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the same thing. We don't need that there. I mean, just like use a little common sense here, guys, and just like organize this stuff so that it makes a little sense. What about the Supersonic Team doc? Does that need to be up here?
No.
No, that can go down in other important documents because it's not bigger than the Austrasia. So you got the Global Super Team doc, right? The Andromeda Super Team doc. Again, these are just other super teams. So all you really need at the top is the Global Super Team doc, the full team, and then the Global main doc, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, and then it looks a lot better and cleaner, and like new people who come and look at it will understand it much better, you know. And even these are a big mess of important docs. So you could have it as simple as this. I mean, maybe you could put, you know, the full team or something like that, or the global main doc if you wanted to, but you could just link directly to Austrasia Super Team doc. You know, so I would argue that it could be as simple as just these two links at the top. The only other thing that should be linked here,
So
which is not, would be our double team. So our double team, and our double team right now would be like, you know, Jay, Lucy, Abdul, Asif, Albina. I think it's 5 of us, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So this is a double team that never ever changes, and we're not doing good on our double teams yet, but eventually double teams are going to be more important than super teams or even main sessions. So double teams are just as important as buddy teams and individuals within the network.
okay, is this applied to our weekly men's session like on Euro Africa?
Yes, it applies to everything. All of our documents should be organized and professional. This is not professional and organized, right? This all needs to change. I want to look at it, and I want it to be organized and professional, just like every single of our meeting notes when we do them for our clients. Like I do like 10 different meeting sessions for clients every week, at least. Right? And every single document needs to be professional and organized and clear, and all the links, every time you link something, there should be a reason for it, and it should be in the right order and everything. So just use some common sense on it. So I mean, is anybody happy with how it currently looks at the top of the Austrasia Weekly main session? So I guess that's a no. Nobody's happy with it. So make it so you're happy with it. Fix it. So we can move on, you know? Yeah, it looks a little better. Sweet. So the only other problem here at this point is the fact that nobody's updated the Austrasia main session doc after I mentioned it. So is someone planning on doing that?
So what about full moon? Are we supposed to link there? Does that need to on top of critic?
Can you guys hear Lucy, or is that me? Is that my problem?
I said when we have global quarter moon session, what are the documents that need to be linked there?
The documents that get linked at the top of every single document are the pertinent teams that directly affect that particular session. So if you have a life support session, you would want to link the life support at the top, right? The different life support docs. If you're having an FQN experience, you're going to want to link the FQN experience docs. If you have a your Africa doc, you want to link the your Africa docs. If you have a buddy team session, you want to link your buddy team doc at the top. Does that make sense? Whatever the docs that are applicable to the session that you're having. If you have a combined session that combines multiple different things, then you're going to want to list all those docs, and every single doc listed should have a reason to be linked there, right? So in our situation here, when we do sessions, right, and you guys aren't using the template, right? So if we go to the template session notes, under the template session notes, there's a list of important docs. This is where you would link all the important docs that are within your session. So you can link whatever you want under important docs, but you don't necessarily link them at the top. So maybe that includes the list of all docs. You know, you could easily link that there, you know? So you could add in here the list of all global docs.
Thank you, I understand.
And again, the most important concept is simply that the docs linked at the top are more important than the session itself. That's the simple principle, right? But now you guys deleted everything. You deleted all the docs here. Like, I don't know why you deleted the super team doc. I mean, because obviously that is an essential doc to have. So let's relink that. Okay, good. And you guys finally linked our notes for today. Yes. Okay, we can move on finally. Oh man, that should have been done like the first thing. Okay, so I think that the most important thing to understand about the problem with our setting up of the Austrasia Quintet is that we
done.
okay, well, we need at least 5 more minutes, like for the recruitment. So so we're going to switch into recruitment now. So we don't have anyone from the Austrasia Quintet. Is anyone here in the Austrasia Quintet or planning on making the Austrasia Quintet their primary time? So that's a huge. Do you guys understand? Are you guys in agreement with this, or is anyone else noticing this, or is it just me?
I understand that you are saying that anyone wants to prioritize Australia timings with their existing timings, right?
Understanding is that today we have the East Pacific, we've got your Africa, and we have Central Asia, right? So we don't have anybody from Austrasia.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
so that's a
we
huge
don't.
problem, which means that recruitment is an essential component of setting up the Austrasia Quintet. So without recruitment, we're not going to get anywhere, right? So are you guys ready to go into recruitment? And what, we have like 10 minutes for this or something like that? I don't know. In the Austrasia Quintet, besides just basic organizing of our team, is recruitment. So one of the things that's really questioning about this, like that's very strange, we have the most people from the Austrasia Quintet being recruited, and the most people willing to work for the least amount of money. So we have no budgetary problem. We have no problem of people. It's 100% our fault that we can't seem to find Austrasia Quintet leadership. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for example, if we look at the, let's pull up, let's see if I have it here. Let's pull up the public ranking real quick. I don't know if anyone has the budget as well. Ooh, a budget doc? No, it doesn't have it in there yet. Anyone can get the public ranking before me?
Personal support.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it. My computer's not happy. So anyways, as we get the public ranking, the point here is that we need to change our strategy on recruitment. There's something wrong, and one possible thing that's wrong is that it came to our attention today that we seem to be inviting people to specific sessions. So for example, Nelly told 2 to 3, new recruits for the America session that they could only come to the main Andromeda session on Thursday, right? Can anyone think of any problem with that?
Public ranking, I just get that one. Can I send you the link?
Well, just link it right here to our notes under recruitment.
Okay.
Here, let me pull up our actual calendar. So if we go to Uni Network, our calendar is a lot simpler than my calendar, which is crazy. All right, I'm going to go to Asia time. So if we could think about here, the Americas Network here. So this is the Americas Network. No, that's not it. It's this one. God, it's so confusing. Support Alliance, there's nothing here. I guess it's just not, I guess there's a problem. Okay, let me, we need to be updating our calendars. So let me go back to America's time. Confusing when you look at it. So it looks like we're missing a slot on Thursday here. This should be a buddy team session or a main Andromeda session. So every other week it should be a buddy team session. So that needs to be fixed. So Steve is asking if anyone explained to the new Austrasia people, but this is their actual session, not the Sonic one. I don't know. So one problem is that Nelly told them they could only come to the Americas session, right? Which is on not even this Thursday, it's the next Thursday, right? So it's Thursday 9/7. So this would be September 7th, right? And so can anyone think of what a problem with that would be? It's 1 hour twice per month. So just some by chance, these new recruits would magically need to be available for that 1 hour of, or those 2 hours of the month. That's a huge problem. Like, what is the probability that they'll be able to, 2 weeks from now, magically be able to go to this one session? Right, and so then also it's just like, are we even asking the new recruits to come to the session? And that's what Steve is talking about here. So Steve's sort of talking about the opposite of it, but the point that I'm trying to make is that in our recruitment, if we are requiring people to come to specific sessions, it doesn't make any sense.
I think there is something wrong there. Yeah, they are supposed to go. What we should do is to ask them their availability.
Okay, that's a good one. So when you want to solutions, ask them their availability. Okay, so what else pertains to that? How do we actually get their availability? What are we asking them to do?
Maybe we can send them the doc for the quintans, all the quintans. Maybe they can choose for themselves where they fit. Then
we have a global availability schedule doc. You just send them the global availability schedule doc, and they match their schedule with it, and they put their name in there, and then boom, they put it on their main doc. So you want to create a main doc for them, make a main doc, add their availability to the main doc. They can see their availability in relation to the global availability schedule doc. Okay? I mean, this is nothing new. This is just simple stuff, but it just seems like we're not doing it. Somehow we're missing the process of simply scheduling and getting people engaged. Okay, so my computer's still not working very well here. So what other solutions do you think we could do to improve our recruitment?
First of all, we should not give them time limits. Like, for example, Nelly did. To choose for themselves. If we do that, they will compromise and say maybe some of them are not available at the exact time we are giving them. It's to give them a room if they will be our members or not. Then they will choose their own time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because time limitation will make them run away.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you tell some exact day, exact time, and maybe that person is not available. So we give them a bigger room and chance to choose for themselves.
Exactly. That's very simple. So give them a large opportunity to choose when they can get involved themselves. And we do that already right here in our they want to come to. Or we'll even schedule additional time to make availability for them anytime they're available in their schedule so that we can meet them and get them involved.
Yes.
So what I don't understand is how this paragraph right here that we send them, they read it, and then when they actually Skype people or send emails, what we seem to be responding to them is, you know, if you want to be involved, you have to attend this specific session, and then we give them a session date. And then we just go along on our personal sitting around doing whatever we do, you know, basically no output or very little output of work, and just we seem to be ignoring the recruits.
Hi Jay.
Yeah.
The broadcaster is not working, and your screen is not showing on our YouTube broadcast.
Oh, it's not. Is the voice showing?
Working, and yes, voice is okay, but screen not showing.
Awesome. So Albina, you seem to get it. Do you want to give another recap about the problem and how to solve it? And then we'll go on to listing the new recruits and finalize and move on.
Sorry. Another problem is that we cannot say that if you want to be involved, this is not good. We actually have to, like for example, we share them with the Hangouts. We also show them, we tell them the time we meet in our buddy teams. I think that is okay. Then in the buddy team, they will, I think we give them the people, we'll teach them. And even after making their main buddy team, a main doc, we give them the videos for the introduction for the new members. I think the videos will guide them. Instead of just telling them if they get involved, they will not know what they are involving in. So we give them the videos to watch for introduction.
Well, the videos are good.
I think giving them the videos is not a fast solution, Albina, because many people are very much weak. They don't like wasting their time watching videos. But the first thing, they need to get involved.
Yeah.
Then after that, they can have an interest on going ahead to watch that videos.
So the videos are kind of like step 5 or 6, right? The initial step is where we're not doing well on, right? Is just simply not thinking about ourselves and getting their schedule and scheduling with them. It's all about, we need to focus on the recruit, right? Their schedule, their availability, right? And make sure that they understand that we will be willing to meet with them with any time, 24 hours a day. Whenever they're available, we will make time to meet with them and talk about their schedule. The number one for all new recruits is scheduling. So it's very simple. How many hours they want to work, their availability, which sessions they can participate in. That makes sense? And we want to get that on their main doc immediately, as quickly as possible. Right? And so we will do that at any time. We can do that during any buddy team session. It's a priority, right? And it doesn't take very long. I mean, you should be able to do this, should be able to help them get set up in about, 30 minutes. And from there, after they are scheduled with their main doc, maybe you spend another 30 minutes with them, or schedule another time, but you also give them the link to the videos, right? So that can keep them busy, and you're good to go, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like, there's no problem with inviting them to come to a session, like a full moon session or new moon session or planetary session or main session. It's perfectly fine, but you do that as a secondary component. So when inviting them to a session, it is secondary to like a main session. First is us changing our schedule to meet their availability. That's number one. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I think that should help us a lot. So did anyone link the public rankings, or do we still try to find that?
Yeah, it is up there.
Why don't you
The
just
spreadsheet.
link it under our section where now we're talking about recruitment? Where is it? Where'd you link it?
I just put it up there.
Where?
Public ranking spreadsheet at the top of the doc.
I think we need to put it under the topic.
Yeah, just use common sense. Like when we're talking about a topic and we have notes, we want to put the public ranking. Like, why would you put the public ranking under attendance? It's just like very odd. It goes under recruitment, right? So just use common sense. So for the spreadsheet results of public rankings, if you see here, everything in white are people who are in the Austrasia session, or Austrasia quintant, right? What percentage of the top 30 people are in white from the Austrasia quintant? Basically like 90%.
Yeah.
Right? It's insane. There's tons of them, right? So we could even like, we're going to be involving I'll have a new proposal, which I'll mention here. We can probably vote on later. But the new proposal is basically to shift the rankings, or not the public rankings, shift the public rankings and active recruitment budget by weekly. So basically we would start recruiting a new set of recruits every week, and they each set gets 2 weeks to respond. If they don't, they are cut, and then they can reapply.
Okay.
So anyways, we need to look at this. So this is a proposal, and we'll see what we want to do with this. But like, let's say that the budget for Austrasia is, I don't know what it's going to be, but let's say it's like $1,000 or something. If someone wants to link the budget here, we could look at it, the recruitment budget. But then that would mean 500 for week 1, and then 500 for week 2. And then it would just switch off every week, right? So we would just go to the next set of people and just keep going and going and going.
That is a good idea. It will
Yeah.
help us to get recruits from there.
Yeah, because I mean, I just feel like it's like we're getting a little backlogged and sort of caught up in trying to get these recruits, and like they're not. And some of them I think are responding, but then we're not following up with them well. The other thing to note here, if I can pull it up, let's see if I can pull it up now. Is it gonna work? No, it's not gonna work.
What are the basic things we can see when we recruit them? A budget that they indicate?
What? I'm confused. What was the question?
I'm asking, when we recruit them, what are the basic things that we look at them? Maybe someone can put a lot of money. We get maybe most of them suggesting the budget high. So are we supposed to go ahead and invite them?
I'm not sure what I'm understanding about you. We have a process for approving the budgets for the new recruits, and they're ranked based on their budget.
Which is the standard budget that when you get someone, maybe put 300 or 400, are we allowed to go ahead and invite them?
No, all the invitations are done based on the process and the agreement of the the recruitment team. Like, we have to agree upon them each time. Right? Could someone pull up the recruitment budget? I mean, it's like you haven't even seen the recruitment budget. Does someone want to get the recruitment budget, or do I need to do that?
Just try to find out. I'm looking.
All right, so what was I doing before? I was looking for
budgets. Budgets.
I don't remember. Oh, what was it? Oh, I was going to note here that in the new personnel intake questionnaire, there's this really interesting thing that I hadn't ever noticed before, but we have a whole bunch of people. Priscilla, Vasu, Adnan, Brenda, Angel, Rodi Reron, right? And then there was Shanta, right? There was Joyce, there's Arlene, right? There's all these people who have not only been recruited, we recruited them, we emailed them, they accepted the invitation, they were excited about it, they contacted us, and they even filled out the detailed intake questionnaire, and then they fell through the cracks. Right? It's like why would someone be filling out the detailed questionnaire for intake if they weren't interested in working with us? So anyways, we definitely need to figure some of that out, and I'm thinking like we definitely want to take off of the recruitment email, like this jurisdictional based pay, as well as the recruitment detailed questionnaire, until after they contact us. So we're going to get rid of that. So after they contact us and they get involved, we schedule them, and then they do the intake questionnaires, the detailed intake questionnaires, okay? But they can start with their buddy teams and finding buddies and getting more information. But really, the main thing is just scheduling, getting them scheduled, getting them activated and engaged with the team, getting them connected to main buddy teams, and then after they connect with us, then we get them into the detailed questionnaire. Because obviously there's just something happening where we're losing a bunch of people, and it doesn't make sense.
I think other people, they don't like, when someone is maybe they get used to working on one responsibility. I think that's the major challenge with the other new recruits. When someone come and here today, we have a different thing, tomorrow we have to. For them, they see like they cannot make it, they quit it. That's a major problem with the new recruits if we recruit them. If they get involved, they see like they're confusing. They want to focus on the one thing. They don't want, maybe for them, they need to, if it's like doing administration work, for them, they think that they're going to do a specific thing, not everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, as we get more organized, we got our responsibilities organized, we can start getting back down to like a task level. And when we get into tasks, that's when we're able to more better get people organized and they can work on the same thing all the time. So we're just not quite organized enough for that right now. There's too much going on to be able to, for people to be able to do it. But I understand what you're saying, right? So basically, if people just want to sit back, I mean, it's weird though, because they can still sit back and do nothing and get paid for it, But it is a challenge. Like what we're doing is a huge challenge, and it takes the type of person that is willing to challenge themselves and really push themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, we just try to find more and more. Not everyone is, some can be willing to do, others they don't want. We just move on with it. People who get interest to learn other things.
I
Cool.
think.
Oh, and the other thing that we need to make sure is that all recruitment emails need to be CC'd to what's the new email? Let's see if I have it here. I have this new email. Well, you can do this one. There's two emails that you can use. You can use either this one, and then there's also, I think it's workers@fqn.unity.mo. I think those are the two emails that you can CC when you're doing any recruitment, so everybody's on the same page. And then of course there's unitynetglobal@gmail.com. All right, so I think we're ready to move on from recruitment. Let's just step it up and see if we can improve upon this. And we have this new proposal. I mean, we can hopefully talk about this tonight. Let me add that to our list of topics for. Here's the proposal. Oh, this would be part of recruitment. So ready to move on, or what?
Sure.
Oh, but let's look at the budget real quick. I mean, where's the recruitment budget? Does someone find that or not?
I did not find. I tried to find out. I did not find that.
That's not good. So we should make it it should be really easy to find the recruitment budget. It should just be on.
I'm on personnel support. I don't see that.
It should be under recruitment. So let me pull up recruitment doc. New recruits, offers, and budget spreadsheets. So I'm going to also link this to the budget doc because it's technically a type of budget, even though it's a very different type of budget. Okay, I'm going to get here. So this goes over the actual budget. This is our recruitment budget. So these are all we have $2,000 for the budget for all the new Austrasia Oceania people, or it's like $1,500. So obviously we need to do one last round of this, try to contact them, but then move on to the next people, right? It's just like if these people are interested, we go on to the next ones, and they can reapply if they want to. But we really do need to move on because we should be able to find a bunch of people from Austrasia. And these are our budgets, right? So all these budgets, it's like your Africa is 680. So if we split that into 2 weeks, it could be like, 300, 400, 500 a week. So, but we need to recruit more people so that we can get these, it's going to take some time to get them up to level 4. And then we need at least 3 people at level 4 for each quintant. So then we can initiate the quintants and the senior manager positions and actually get the global structure set up. Right? And then we get a lot more work done. We'll be able to do like 5 times more work than we currently can, if not more. So let's do that as soon as possible. The other thing to note here, are there any questions on the budget, the new recruits budget?
For Australia, I think no problem. It's okay.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
And then, so we do need to schedule, not schedule, but we do need to prioritize recruitment budgeting. So during sessions, we should do that and get that all updated. I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but is there anybody who's like, worker recruitment's like one of their main things, right? We have like, I know Lucy's on it, Abdul, Jay, Vanelli, Steve, Albina, you helped some, right, too, right? Zilu, James, right? So there's a lot of people working on recruitment, but who is like the main people who want to really take it on, especially for Austrasia?
I want to take the responsibility of it.
All right, so we have Asif. Anyone else?
I can do it.
I can also help them.
Lucy.
So Asif and Lucy, buddy team Asif and
Albina.
Lucy, and Albina. Okay, Asif, Lucy, and Albina. Okay, so, and then of these three, you guys need to choose one person who's gonna take it on and be like the main point person. Right, so the point person would be like either Asif. I think Asif would make the most sense because I think you're ranked the highest on the HR. So, but the point here is that we have a triple team all working on recruitment. Everybody's responsible for recruitment. We have one buddy team that's responsible for recruitment, and then the point person's Asif. Does that make sense? Like, this is how we structure all of our important things, is that here's a list of everybody who wants to work on something. Here's the buddy team that's responsible for coordinating all of these people. And then this is the point person.
Buddy team, me also.
You also, no, there's no you also. It doesn't make sense. You are part of the triple team.
Okay.
So a buddy team can only be up to 3 people maximum.
Okay.
Right? Whereas the point person can only be 1 person. Right? So these are all everybody working on together on recruitment. But when we come next week and we're like, okay, what's going on with recruitment? We're going to ask Asif, Lucy, and Albina first to give an update. And if it's not done, then they're the ones who are responsible, and we'll get the about evaluation if they're not stepping up the work and prioritizing it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this would be like the point buddy team. And these are just like people who want to work on it. But Abdul, you can help prioritize recruitment anytime, right? There's nothing, they're not higher level than you. It's just like, we're just saying that they're interested in taking it on. And Steve is also helping out with recruitment. All right, so, yeah?
So what's the work of?
Steve is included twice.
Oh yeah, you're right, yeah, Steve's choice, cool. All right, so let's, can someone?
What's the work of Asif now? Yes.
What?
We have Asif as a point person. I don't understand. What will he do? Or is the first person to update us what to do? What's exactly the work of point person?
Like the whole concept that, you're not really sure what one person would do versus another, versus having 3 people versus having 9 people. The idea of a point person is that at least one person knows it's their responsibility to move it forward. Whereas with you, Asif, and Albina, you're not really sure who is responsible for doing what. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it's saying. It's not like Asif doesn't have to do anything, right? It's just saying that Asif is personally responsible to make sure that next week we check in on recruitment.
Yes.
Right? Whereas like Asif, Lucy, and Albina may or may not be responsible. It's not really clear. Right, but if it doesn't happen next week, it's going to be, we need to know who is responsible for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason we choose, why I chose Asif, just to make sure it's really clear, because it doesn't matter. We need hundreds of point people on tons of different responsibilities. I don't think I have it up here, but if we had the HR rankings, most likely would have a CP the highest on the HR rankings of the people who are here now. Right? So anyways, let's just go over really quickly what needs to be done. Who is currently being recruited for Austrasia? Is Joyce still here? Is Joyce one of the people? I know there's at least 2 or 3. Who are they? There's Joyce.
Eileen
Joyce
is there, I
is
think.
there.
I
Eileen.
think Joyce is in Europe.
She's in Africa.
She's in Egypt currently.
Okay,
So,
Eileen.
Maybe Austrasia.
So it's just Eileen? Is that the only one?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so
Benji also, and also Julie, but these 2 members are not available now.
yeah, so let's just focus on Eileen. Someone should talk to Eileen. Let's see if you can just make sure that someone talks to Eileen, then we're ready to move on.
Okay.
And let's just check really quickly here. Where was it? Priscilla, I mean, are any of these people to have location here? I don't think any of these have location. So we would need to somehow compare these people to the other. Here's Arlene, Basu, Priscilla, I, Joyce. Yeah, so I don't know. We just need to compare to see if any of these new personnel detailed intake questionnaires come from Austrasia. Okay, let's move on. Any other questions on recruitment?
Yeah, that Jay, suppose if one person belongs to Central Asia or Austrasia, and he wants to move to your Africa or Andromeda, Quentin. So, can he do it or not?
Of
I'm
course.
talking about myself. I just say.
Anyone can do whatever they want to. It's the individual's the most empowered part of our entire network. For example, one of our members, I can't remember her name, just totally tired right now, moved from Uruguay to the Netherlands or something like that, Northern Europe. And so they moved from the West Atlantic to Africa. And the main reason they're not involved right now is that they're busy with school and things like that, but it's certainly possible for them to be involved still, even though they move. In addition to that, if somebody is, in one location, like let's say Central Asia, and wants to work in Australia, they can. Right? They just wouldn't be involved in the Central Asia as much. They would have a different time schedule. Like they would get up a lot earlier or whatever, right? So you can work in whatever, part of the world that you want to work in, no matter where you are in the world, but you have to choose one. Like, and this relates to the budget as well. Your quintent is going to be your budget, right? So the quintent that you are in, you need your quintent to approve your budget and your buddy team budget so that you have a clear budget for getting paid, right? And that's going to become localized within your quintent, and then from there it'll even get regionalized. So the point is that everybody needs to choose a quintent, and you don't have to choose the quintent that you live in. You can choose whatever one you want to, and you can move around anywhere in the world.
Okay, why I asked this question, I will explain on the next section.
Okay.
More better. Yeah.
Well, let's go on.
Okay, so
I think we are on reviewing monthly goals.
Reviewing what?
Monthly goals.
What?
Reviewing the monthly goals.
Oh, the weekly goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it priorities or goals?
Priorities.
Priorities.
Yeah, it's our priorities.
Yeah.
Steve just reminded us that it's Anacleta. It's very, very odd you watching these things, Steve, instead of just joining us. But I know you're busy doing other things, but you're keeping an eye on us. But all right, so this was our previous priorities. We had finances and taxes. These are going pretty well. Maybe we're like 40%. Personnel support, that's pretty much everything we've been talking about right now. Recruitment, personnel support, it's all part of that. I mean, we're probably at like 40% on that too, but maybe 30. We're doing better though. Moving along. Client relations, this is not working out so well. Client relations is tough because we don't really get paid for it. It's just something we have to do. It's not like part of our client. All right, I'll put like 10%. Worker coordination. This is going better. 35%. Recruitment. I don't know. Where are we on recruitment? 45%? Maybe less? I don't know. 35%?
Like 35, yeah.
Quinton implementation. We can't do Quinton implementation without recruitment. So we're like, you know.
0%.
Well,
20%.
maybe we're more than 0%, but we're probably like 15%.
Yeah.
Although I'm doing the colors wrong. So this would be red. This would be orange. This would be orange. This would be orange. Going to relax for a while, we'll be back. Should have joined, but I could have gotten outside. Could have gotten paid, but it's fun. I should have joined, I could have gotten paid. That is the thing, is that our policy, it doesn't matter whether you join or not, watching any video is paid time. You cannot work or watch videos and not get paid. Everyone has to track all time. That is our policy. Okay, so documentation. This is going pretty good. 65%.
Yes, that's really moving well.
Austrasia and Sonic team budget. Austrasia and Sonic team budget. Well, this isn't going anywhere. That's like we don't even have a budget. So I think we're making progress, but it's not really looking that great. So what are the other additional, so this is the previous priorities. What else is new to this, and what about prioritizing it? I had one thing to add. Does anyone have anything to add? So we need to add, like, there should be people next to all of these responsibilities.
Would be nice.
Oh, there's Steve. Is that you?
Hi, guys.
Did you want to check in?
Figure that out. Yeah, I'll do a quick check-in.
Or more like
Hi,
a check
guys.
out.
I have some great news. I just found out a few hours ago. I told Jay already that my fiance's visa application is approved, pending her getting her physical, which is no big deal. So I'm in a great mood, and I'm in the process of actually chatting with her online. But I wanted to stop in and say this has been a very interesting meeting to watch from the outside. Somebody just needs to make sure that all the Australian people know a meeting, not the Sonic meeting, because they might be getting mixed up. Otherwise, I think you're all doing fantastic. Be back to see you in about 2 hours for the, at least for a while. Oh, and I just stopped and say hi to everybody. I'll still be watching on the video. Anything I find interesting.
Okay, cool. So, do you guys have other priorities? For the week?
Yes.
Equity assets.
I mean, I just don't think that's a priority, but we could put it at the bottom of the list. So equity assets, and it's part of FQ and value tracking, but it's just not a priority. And I'm adding the exit monthly payroll preparation that needs to happen this week.
Okay.
I don't think okay is a reasonable answer ever. Like, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. Every time I hear okay, what I hear from you is basically, that's great, but I have no interest in it. You know, it's like the answer should be like, yes, sign me up for that. I want to help. That should be the answer. Right? So it's like here we have 9, 10 things. It's like everybody wants to work on FQ and equity assets. You know, it's like what we want to get people signed up to help with all of this stuff. That's organized.
I want to live on FQN value tracking.
Okay, so you know what that means, Lucy?
Yeah.
It means you have to prioritize it. You have to make FQ and value tracking your top priority and keep pushing it every single meeting, every single buddy session, and make sure that it gets done, because we're not doing it, right? We're not prioritizing it.
I can help Lucy on that.
Okay, again, it's still one of our lower priorities, but yeah, Lucy and Albina.
I want also to learn about exam monthly payroll preparation.
Okay, I know Abdul knows how to do this. Abdul, possibly Zilu. I think Julie knows how to do it as well, but she's not here.
Is it the one they usually put the names and the budget for that month?
Yeah, it's where you put the whole budget for the whole month and then the percentage time that they worked for the month.
Yes. I think I know that.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but we do it once a month for the monthly payroll. And that's due on Wednesday, so this is due Wednesday. Another thing that's definitely going to be important here coming up is EXA executive. Well, actually, I'll just put it here as voting forms and asynchronous decision making. Really important as well. Executive support.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Hey.
That's a problem, and that's
Cool. So, I mean, if these are all good for our goals, then I think we're ready to move on. Are there any other goals or anything else that people want to sign up for, help out with?
Yeah, I just want to help up with work coordination.
Yes. Thank you. Worker coordination, Lucy. Okay. Now, the worker coordination is going to change tremendously. Hopefully, we'll go over more tonight. But we definitely need to prioritize a lot of things here. We're going to be changing the whole way we do buddy team work sessions. Making sure that they're much more organized. So I think this looks pretty good. Voting forms, this is like 0%.
I was requesting executive support board to prioritize, so I need to help you on that. But you did not teach me on that. I'm requesting if you have time.
Great, yeah, that should be pretty good. So Lucy and Jay. Steve.
Also, I wish to learn more about it.
Okay.
get the executive support for me, and also voting form also me also.
All right. Cool. So let's make sure we get that. That's going to be an important one. This is going to be really exciting stuff. So I mean, I would say that value tracking is the most important thing that we technically could kind of, skip.
And also, I think we need to let people need to know about the value tracking, especially when we do value tracking. Most of the time, some people, they go down and complain. They see that like you are not making the point. They don't understand why when we do value tracking. When you are assigned to do something, so like maybe if we have a session, you did not do that. There is no need of you getting all point because you did not do that. What specific work you tend to do. The what you usually do, we give a points, but most of the people used to complain about that. Why are you giving me a point and I assign myself on that?
Yeah.
I think you need to let them understand about that.
Okay, well, we can definitely go over it more. Should we talk about that now when we do our value tracking right now? Or is it other people? Who are we talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we shall discuss it when most are here.
Okay, maybe
Most
today.
people are also confusing Jay. They are recording the value tracking hours on their work reports, which is very wrong.
Okay, so let's note here for quarter moon. Do we even have it here? I don't know what to put in here. So FQN, value tracking, and also session edits. So the most important thing here is that every time we do any documentation, when we write hours, right, hours is going to equal, like actual hours worked. Then you have what's called hours session credit, right? So this is session credit hours. So this is like the time put in on various work within a session, right? And then you have work credit hours. Right? So work credit hours would be like on your work report. When you do like, you might do like buddy team, Jay and Steve, right? We work for 2 hours, right? So that'd be 2 hours, and then maybe we did EXA budget update for 1 hour of work credit. So this would be a work credit hour. We worked for 2 hours, but we have the sub work of a work credit. So this might be output, right? The work credits are separate from the actual time that we work. So you have actual worked hours, session credit hours, and then work credit hours. So that makes it so that on our work reports, whenever we do session value tracking, like down here, it's just nothing's there. Let me try going to. I'm not sure exactly why you guys don't use the templates, but I have the template here. So if we go to session value tracking in the template, so all of these would be hours of session credits. Make it really clear that they're not hours, right? These are session credit hours. Okay. And I think that should help because then it's like it never says hours unless it's actual hours. Any other questions about this? I think we're good to move on.
Yeah, we are good to move on.
I think we might want to wrap up. I mean, we're basically at 2 hours. For those of us who didn't take a break. Oh wait, we got to at least talk about scheduling. Is scheduling on here? How much further do we need to get to scheduling? Priority topics, updates, review, moon, quarter topics, setting, recoup, life support, and then scheduling. Well, I guess we could do a quick life support for 5 to 10 minutes and then do scheduling for 5 to 10 minutes and then check out. So do we want to just try to jump through it all real quick? So life support?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can tell us more. Who come up with the life supports about life support? I think that was Abdul. Abdul, what is all about life support? You come up with that one? When do you want us to discuss on that?
Abdul, are you here?
We need to, yes, I think we need to more organize on this life support session and life support team also.
Getting organized, how?
Maybe we can create two session per month on life support if possible, and this session is all members are included here, and we can organize this life support is a specific weekend or a specific weekly session, so that every members can discuss their lives, their needs of life and their goals also, and we need to update every member's goals and their expectation also. We need to update this these members the description also in their main doc, and specifically every members have a I think we have a doc for every members, and we update every week every members life support discussion in their doc.
Yeah, I
And
think
also,
I do that. I normally do that.
yes, and I think it's better if Lucy, you say something about our last life support session. I just requested you to discuss about your question on that you discussed in our last life support session.
Okay, for me, what I was requesting, if we can make a life support effective, it's always when we go there, we have a life support to tell your stories. I don't think this is helpful. What is the way forward if someone's have a problem? I think this life support need to be effective. If it, like, for example, every week, every Wednesday, you go there, you tell your life story. Maybe you tell whatever you have. Sometimes it is so painful to share what you undergo, and you see it's not really working. And I think I was requesting if Gwen, because they are community network, they're the one coming up with the life support. If, for example, they can give us a contract, if someone is there, if you can give that person a contract to work with you, I think that can be also another way of achieving about life support, because life support is supporting someone. If, for example, I have a problem and I come and I narrate to you, every time I narrate the same thing, what are the way forward as a community network you take for that person to be in another level? What we request last time, if a community network can look at our own life support, whatever we always discuss every Wednesday, they go through and we see what we discuss that can be better.
Yeah.
No need of continue.
So a couple things on life support. Well, one is that, I mean, we barely even touched the surface on life support. I mean, it's like one of the centerpieces of our whole network, and it's very important, but obviously we need to get better at it. One thing that life support is it's a program, right? So we need a program manager position that gives a paid, right? And that there needs to be a lot more effort going into it, right? Also, what it is it's like, you know, it's current. You know, how can we help this person now? What isn't life support is it's not how could we have helped someone in their past. There's nothing to do with that. How can we help them in the future? You know, a little bit more important. But again, it's not like fully applicable, because we don't know where any of us are going to be in the future, right? It's all about currently. How can we help the person right now, right? What isn't life support is not their name, right? Like if you're going to go, for example, if you want to go to the flood areas, right? You have a flood area and someone is drowning, right? And you want to help their life, and you want to help save their life. Are you going to ask them their name? Right? Like what someone's name is doesn't directly apply to life support. Additionally, their life story, you know, their background, their, you know, their history, you know, everything that pertains to their life, right? That pertains to their identity, right? All that stuff is totally just not, it's just optional. Right? Life support is about, you know, I need money because I can't buy food, right? I want to start a business, right? I want to get a better job. I want to make my current life better, right? To help someone get food, it doesn't matter where they came from and what they did for their entire life and all their education, all this stuff. It doesn't matter. It's like we need to help them get food now, right? They want to start a business. Again, we start a business because they want to do it in the present moment. They want a better job. They want a better career, whatever it is. We help them do it in the present moment. It doesn't matter where they came from or where they're going. The fact is that they're in the life support session right now. We help them. So does that make sense? So if all a life support session is talking about your past, you're not approaching it in a way where you're opening up yourself to be helped. You don't need to know anything about anyone's past to help them in the present.
So is the life support basically deal with the outside people, not really people who are there attending, or we are there just to help other people, not people who are there presently, like us, we are there.
Oh, I'm talking about us. It's whoever comes. It's whoever is there, including us. Right? The point is that you can share everything you want to about your life story and your history and all that, right? Which is more, this is an introduction, right? Introduction, right? So if you want to do that, you can, but it's just not pertinent to helping you in the present unless there's a specific thing that you need help with in your present that's related to your story. So for example, it helps understanding Lucy's past story about her struggles and you know, being a refugee and all that kind of stuff, and that you wrote your book based on that. So what's applicable to your life support is not your life story, but it's the fact that your life story fits into your book, and so we want to help you on your book, right? That's what's pertinent, is your current goal of getting your book out there, you know, supporting other people with your book, right? The fact that your book happens to be about your life story is the only reason why it applies to your life story. Does that make sense? Like if someone else wanted to write a book about, you know, dogs or pets or, you know, activism, we don't necessarily need to know their life story in order to help them with their book. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, like anyone can use their life support time to do anything they want to. So you can talk about your past, and maybe like some people, what they need with life support is just someone to listen to. And they want to just share their experiences and share their heart and share all their problems. And that's what they need. Right? And that's perfectly fine. But it's not necessarily the point unless that's what they need. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know, maybe, and so it's perfectly fine. You know, just need someone to listen to. You know, can share whatever you want. But you don't have to, right? This is all optional.
All the situation you are in, it contributes with what you undergo past. That's why maybe you have that situation up to now. It is whatever you have been there is continuing going on. For me, I think even the past is contributing the present situation you are in.
Yeah, and then the other thing, so I mean, this is all optional stuff. So I mean, it's perfectly, everybody can do it totally differently. There's no right way, right? There is no, quote, right way to do life support. But in the context of what we also want to do is we want to document and organize and, you know, create subsets and, you know, move forward each week from where we are, not repeat the same thing over and over again, right? So we'll get better at that over time, but it's about documenting it and making sure that we know what the next steps are and moving things forward. Yeah.
Okay.
But if anyone wants to do more training on life support, you know, in a smaller group and actually become a program manager for life support, I mean, this is definitely a position that we want people to take on because it's such an important thing, right? And help coordinate the actual program itself.
I think training will help us understand more about life support.
Well, that's what this is. We're doing, like, and this needs to be indexed, right?
Yeah.
Are there any other questions about life support? Let's see for anyone.
No.
Abdul?
I've understood.
For me.
Take a short break for our next section as well.
I couldn't quite hear you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm saying that we have to move forward and we have to take a break for I think 1.5 hours for the next session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
be active on that session.
Yeah, and I'll just say that we're getting really close to potentially integrating life support with EXA and other clients. So I mean, you guys will see that this life support stuff is going to be very important, not just for us and our teams and also the public, but also our clients. All right, so ready to go into scheduling? So the main thing on the scheduling here is simply that, let me pull up the, it's simply that there's no break between the Sonic Buddy team. So someone who gets here at 8 o'clock for the Sonic Buddy team is working 1, 2, 3, 4, going on 5 hours straight. That's just not healthy. It's not okay, right? So during the Americas times, we always do like, the maximum's like 3 hours, and then there's a break, right? So it's like we have 2 hours break, 2 hours break, right? 2 hours break, 2 hours break. So it creates a much better rhythm. So you have a little time for yourself in your own life, right? So I feel like we either want to do a Sonic Buddy Teams from 8 to 9 and do 1 hour of Sonic Buddy Teams and then have a break before the Austrasia main session, or we want to move the Austrasia main session back an hour.
Okay then.
I think taking a break between our session would be okay.
The Sonic session down to 1 hour, or option 2 would be to push back the Austrasia main session 1 hour.
So I think I have a proposal. Can we start the Austrasia session 10:30?
I mean, we technically could do that, but the generally speaking, everything that we're doing is not for us, it's for the public. And so in general, the public, it's always easier to think of when we're doing sessions that they're on the top of the hour. So if we're inviting the public to the Austrasia main session, if it's at 10:30, it might make more sense if it just to be at 11. I mean, why would it be at 10:30?
Okay, it's okay if we start Austrasia session at 11 a.m. No problem.
So that means that before the Austrasia session, you want a break for 1 hour, right, Abdul?
Yeah, okay.
So we all like option 2. Is that what we want to do? Is option 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Option 2 an hour later.
Okay. So can someone? Are there any? Like, Asif, let's like have you do it. So the proposal is. Asif, do you want to do it?
Yes. The proposal is that we will schedule. We will, take a break between our sonic session and Austrasia session. Proposal push.
So the proposal is really just that the start of the Austrasia session happens at 11. So Austrasia starts at 11 a.m. Austrasia time. And that's basically the proposal.
Yeah.
Right? So do you want to say it again? And the reason why I say that is because it's like we're not forcing anyone to take a break. So someone could technically start at 10, at 9 and then go all the way through for 4 hours if they wanted to. Yeah.
Wait. I'm a bit confused.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 proposals, right?
Well, no, there's 3 options, and we're choosing option 2. And the proposal is that the Austrasia main weekly session would start at 11 a.m. instead of 10 a.m.
Yes, this is the proposal, and I think it's okay. And for me,
Okay. So Austrasia session will be at 11. Okay, yeah. Jay, from my side, it is okay.
That's okay.
For me, it's also fine.
I'm fine with the end.
What about yes? And Lucy is also fine. So I think that is an agreement. Good. So who wants to actually change it? So now we have to change the buddy team schedule and the Google Calendar. Who's going to do that?
Okay. So, Jay, I'm asking the question relating to scheduling. Is it allowed for me to just schedule my buddy team that is not approved? I put the session of Google Calendar that is not approved by members. For example, I have like 2-3 sessions, Abdul has 2 and Albina has 2. Am I allowed to put another one?
Yes. You can.
Well,
Yes.
No, I just asking.
Let's talk about that next. Can we just finish with this? Who's gonna change? So this is the main session scheduling, and then we're gonna do buddy team scheduling. So who's gonna change this on the calendar? And the buddy team schedule. Abdul, you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the buddy team schedule, the question is, so the main thing here is like the level for independent buddy teams. We have Lucy had 2. Abdul had 2. Lucy has 3.
Yeah.
So let's say 2 to 3. Abdul has 2. Azilu? I can't remember Azilu.
Zero has 2.
James, Nelly.
Albina too.
So first thing I would say, I mean, I think it would make sense just to, leave it at 2 for everybody. That would be one thing that I would say. But the key thing is that no one can schedule a buddy team session without a buddy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if we look at the buddy team schedule, and it says Abdul and anyone, this is totally against the rules. Abdul and anyone. I mean, that there's no one there. So this is at least Zilu and Aline, right? And anyone. This is fine because there's at least 2 people. Zilu scheduled with Aline. So Zilu and anyone, this is totally against the rules. So these need to be removed. It's not allowed. So this one says Lucy and Albina. They scheduled together, right?
Yeah.
Lucy and Albina. So these ones are Lucy and Asif, Albina and Lucy, right? So Zilu, Abdul. So that's fine. So it's like you need to have at least one other person scheduled with your buddy so that you're a buddy team. And then they need to show up. If they don't show up, it needs to be canceled. Right? If no one shows up, you can work that day, but then it is canceled the next week until you get confirmation that it will happen. So does that answer your question, Lucy? Or what was your question again? Let's hear it.
Yeah, you answer, but I was concerning about because Abdul has a buddy team with the Zulu. They put their separate buddy team. And I was asking, is it allowed for anyone to make a buddy team? And they said it is their main buddy team. They put it Saturday.
Well, we got rid of that. Yeah, that was totally silly of them. I don't know what they were thinking, but that I had a big talk with them last week on it. And we got rid of it. It's like anyone can join. So buddy main buddy teams.
Like Zilu has he has Monday and Thursday, and again they schedule another one for Saturday. So I'm asking, is anyone allowed just to put their session apart from the one you approve? Because it is like now it's scheduled 3 of them.
Abdul?
Yes.
So what's going on?
I think Lucy asking about our main buddy team session, but I think this main buddy team session is not approved. So Jill and me cancel our main buddy team session, and anyone can join.
Can you remove it on calendar because it's not approved? If you send main buddy team, everyone can put their on calendar. Even level 3 can schedule them there. If you send all the main buddy team, they can schedule there in the Google Calendar.
Yes, this already changing by already changed this J, and we discuss us on this main buddy team session on Saturday. And now it's updated on calendar.
And just to remind everyone that the main buddy teams are optional, but every month everybody can do a main buddy team, right? And you don't need to ask for permission. You just go and you have a meeting with your main buddy team, and it can be at any time you want it to be, and you can either put it on the calendar or not, but it's just a one-time meeting. It happens once a month, and it's just to basically check in on your budget proposal, which is due by the 1st of the month right now. So you'd want to do it before the 1st of the month in general, if you're able to do that. And then you're just checking in. And again, main buddy teams are very, very different from secondary buddy teams, right? Main buddy teams, you talk about your personal life. It's almost more of like a life support session. How much money do you need to live? How are we going to make sure that we get that into the budget? We want to agree on a fair budget. We want to make sure that you're getting taken care of. It's almost more of like a life support session than a work session, right? Secondary buddy teams are about getting work done. So
yeah,
they're very, very different, and you would never schedule a weekly main buddy team. You just don't need them every week. They only need to happen once a month.
I think Lucy, you can not clear about this, right?
But we do need to remove
Yeah.
all of these buddy teams with anyone. So Abdul and anyone on Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. That needs to be removed. Abdul and anyone from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. This needs to be removed. I think that's just those two. No, Zilu and anyone from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. needs to be removed as well. That needs to be removed. Okay. And then from there,
So
I have.
I'm asking
Uh-huh.
if anyone can agree to join with me, like as Abdul and Raju on Sunday, 8 p.m. So is that okay?
Razu has agreed to be there.
Yeah, maybe he will agree with me.
Yeah, but maybe is not good enough. Take it off the schedule until there's full agreement and he's planning on being there, and then you put it on the schedule.
Okay. So I just asking again, Raju, and then update this buddy team schedule.
Exactly.
I think Sunday is a good day for me, so you can schedule it for me as well.
Okay.
Cool. Excellent. And then the other thing that's interesting is that after there is multiple buddy teams going on, so it looks like Saturdays we have a lot of stuff going on Saturdays where you have multiple buddy teams. So eventually it's not really individual buddy teams anymore. It's basically like, you know, for example, we just put Sonic buddy teams because there's so many buddy teams during the Sonic sessions. We usually have at least 2 buddy teams, sometimes 3, sometimes even 4 buddy teams happening. That we don't need to put every single buddy team. We just say Sonic buddy teams. So for here, these would be your African buddy teams and Atlantic buddy teams. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we want to do is like we want to have a list of each person's buddy teams that they are scheduling and running, so that it's really clear. Steve, none. Nelly, none. Should be none. Albina, you know, I don't know if you're doing anything, but I don't think you have any. So then Zilu, we want to know Zilu's. It looks like there's one for Thursday at 10. Thursday, 10 p.m.
Wednesday and Thursday.
What?
It's not on calendar, you know.
Abdul, you did not put on the calendar.
Yes, I already updated your buddy team, Albina.
Where is it on the calendar?
It is not on the calendar.
Let's check maybe on Eurafrica session. One Eurafrica quittent. Albina also updated.
But it is supposed to show the order.
This one.
6. Just check again.
Okay, so anyways, the point here is that we want to make sure we know when everybody's independent buddy team sessions are scheduled and have that listed, and then we want to index this. This needs this index level for independent buddy teams doc, and this needs to be, we need to create new doc for that. So this is a task. And then from there, what we need to do is each buddy team is going to have, what is this? So Steve says, one on scheduled Thursdays with James and more after tomorrow with when James and I are scheduling more. Okay, well, make sure it is in the schedule and calendar.
For Albina, this buddy team is updated for last week. I just repeated this schedule.
I'm sorry, say again, Abdul?
Albina's buddy team session was updated last week, and now I updated this one. It repeated in every.
Okay, so yeah, it just wasn't repeating. So yeah, you need to make sure that they're repeating. So to make sure buddy team sessions are repeating weekly or every other, etc. So each buddy team is going to have a you know, a main, or not a main person, but like a level 4 oversight. And this is gonna, you have separate responsibilities. So this is like who is responsible for the buddy team session and coordinating it to make sure it's successful. Okay? 2 weeks where they ever got it. Okay. Awesome. And we'll go over this more in the future, but we'll get better and better at coordinating these buddy teams, because I think right now there's still a lot of, I mean, there's a lot more buddy team sessions happening now, which is a good thing, but they're just not particularly clear what's going on or what's being organized and stuff. So we want to make sure that that all works well.
So now it's updated on Albina. So I already updated on calendar.
Okay, let's try again.
So I think Albina, you need to update your buddy team name, not anyone.
Yes.
So where is it? Oh, wait, no, this needs to be deleted. That's absolutely unacceptable to have Albina and anyone. It has to be a person.
So okay, so I think Albina, you just first updated your buddy team, like as Albina and who, and then I updated again.
No. I want it all deleted. I want Abdul and anyone deleted off of the schedule. I want Zilu and anyone deleted off of the schedule right now. Like it just shouldn't be there. Like if you guys don't have agreement on a buddy team session, then it just cannot be in the calendar. That's the policy. Right? Like these buddy team sessions have to be organized, and you need to go into them with a plan of what you're going to get done, of what they'll happen. Like the whole concept of, oh, I'm just going to schedule a buddy team and I'm not even planned and there's nothing ready, is the opposite of what we want to allow. Like these buddy team sessions need to be organized, and it doesn't seem like that's happening right now, and that's a problem. So can you take all of those off right now and just get it all off there, and then we can look at it so that it's actually the way it's supposed to be?
Okay.
And I also want them removed from, we also remove them, remove from the buddy team schedule. It's just absolutely not okay to be basically just putting random times on there just because you want more hours. It's like that's not what this is. This is about doing the work that's required to be done, which is that you need to be organized and professional and schedule with other people, and you know, have a time, you put it on the schedule together, and you do it correctly, or you don't do it. Right? You're level 4 now, right? Level 4 means you're doing things professionally and organized. Otherwise, you're not doing it, and then we'll take you down to level 3. It's that simple.
So then I just remove mine and also Albina.
Yeah.
And
Zilu.
And I also this one Zilu also. Okay.
So we need to get rid of Abdul and anyone on Sunday from 8 to 9.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of Zilu and anyone on Monday. We need to get rid of Abdul and anyone on Wednesday. Abdul and anyone on Wednesday. And I would just get rid of the and anyone. I mean, we just don't need that. I kind of like it because it has a cool ring. It's like, you know, anyone can come, but I don't think it's necessary. Because that also implies that if it doesn't say in anyone, that then you're not invited, but that's not true either, right? So we don't want to like push people away from other sessions. We want them all to be the same. So I would just get rid of anything that says and anyone is just not applicable. It's like, of course, everybody's invited to all of the sessions, but they should be scheduled, right? We want people to schedule the sessions that are planning on being there every week. And that's why the calendar itself is not as important as the schedule. The schedule is where you actually see the schedule of the actual sessions that everyone's doing. All right, let's check again. So there's still buddy team Abdul and anyone on Sunday that we want to get rid of, but I think that's the only one that's left. Or change it to Abdul and Asif, but don't put Abdul and anyone. And I think you got rid of. I think you got rid of Zilu and Aline. I think you got rid of Zilu and Aline. What happened to Zilu?
You put buddy team Joycey and Albina. Then on Thursday it will be Albina and Thomas.
So I think it's okay right now.
Well, you got rid of everything right now. But anyway, so anyways, when you put them back in, just and also change the one for Saturday. Just don't have it say and anyone, right? It's either a buddy team that's scheduled with the people who are responsible for it happening, or it's not happening. Do you see the difference? Right? There's no just like, oh, we're not organized, so whoever wants to show up, maybe it'll happen. Like, that's not okay. That's not what we do. We schedule things and they're organized, they're going to happen because they're planned and they're coordinated. Cool. So the next step here would make sure that the buddy team schedule is all synced, and then I think we can check out. So I'm going to look at the buddy team schedule, but I'll pass it back over to Asif here. And then I think that there also does need to be some level of, you know, like you schedule your buddy team and then you give people, you know, 3 to 5 days, even 1 week of notice to come to your buddy team session. You know, it's like you don't schedule it a couple hours before and then it happens without no one even knowing it. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, you got to schedule your buddy team session. You let everyone know about it, you know, and then you do it the next week, so that it can be organized and coordinated, and that you have a plan. You know what your tasks and your responsibilities are when you go to it. So when you get there, it's not like, oh, what should we do? We have nothing to work on. This is, you know, blah blah blah. What are we gonna do? That's not what a buddy team session. If that's what's happening, your buddy team session, whoever's the HR person responsible, the highest ranking HR person, right? So let me make sure this is clear. What a buddy team session isn't. Okay, it's not like, you know, me and anyone who wants to show up, right? That's not acceptable, right? It's also not like, oh, here we are. You know, what should we do? You know, question mark. That's not what it is either. It's like, it has to be pre-planned. You have to know what you're going to do during the session, and you got to get work done. So whoever the highest ranking HR person who shows up, if people basically are saying things like, you know, we're not sure what to do, or what should we do, or, you know, I don't know what to do. Anything like that. Anything that relates to just like, oh, we're just here because we want to make money and we're just, you know, like it's like you just tell everyone to stop. Right? Whoever is the highest HR ranked person should tell everyone to stop working and go and just go do something else. Because then they're not planned, right? You gotta plan. So what you should do is make sure you have a plan, a list of responsibilities, and be able to train each other and work independently and get the work done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. And this will do a lot to being organized and actually looking professional And remember, this isn't even just for us. This is also for the public, right? We're not even launched yet. Once we launch, there's going to be people coming from the public all the time, just randomly coming into sessions, and we have to be prepared and professional and organized as best as we can. I mean, there's no way we could do it perfectly, but all right, cool. So I'm going to check the buddy team schedule. Let's see if you can move us forward and check out and stuff. So yeah, so this right here, look right off the bat. Thursday, Albina and question mark, not acceptable. Delete. Gone. All right, this is not what we do. So I mean, do I really need to go through and do this all myself? I mean, are you guys really not capable of like organizing
Okay,
this?
so I think I understand. I understand this, and I will just reorganize. So I think it's better
Good.
for me.
It's so weird. The color is different. It's this one. There we go. Zulu and anyone? No, obviously not acceptable. I also don't understand why it's green. Like, why is it green? Green means that it's like a main session.
I think he's the one putting green.
Abdullah, I think.
Yeah, green means that it's a main session. Zulu anyway, no, none of this is acceptable. Absolutely not. Jane and Dreen. Jane and Dreen is not really happening anymore, but it's okay. Jay and Ellie, Jane and Dreen. So on break, Jay, see how I'm on break here? Everyone needs to make sure it's clear who's on break and who's not. This all looks good. This looks good. This is not really happening anymore. This all looks good. Cool. So that one's good. See how the green is the main Your Africa session? This is great. This is perfect. And then once you fill this in and it's correct, then make it purple. You know, it's like I don't need to make it purple for you. It's like you can do that on your own. And this is good. Check in with senior ranked workers. So this basically means that in the main hangout is the senior ranked workers should be here. I guess you could say senior ranked workers. But when we have multiple buddy teams, like 3-4 buddy teams happening simultaneously, we always have the main hangout as like a place to connect between the workers with the senior ranked person if there's questions or coordinating all the different buddy teams. So we'll get better at that over time. So buddy team Lucina Asif, that's good. Lucina Bina, this is all good. Jane Asif. Jay Asif, are you still wanting to do the hour 3 of Atlantic session for Saturdays? Because in the past that wasn't particularly seeming to work. Like you haven't been showing up. Are you planning on doing that one, Asif?
Yeah, I think Saturday will be a bit difficult for me.
Okay, well, let's get rid of that one because, and also Abdul, can you delete that off of the calendar?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, it's going really slow. Asif, do you want to move us forward here and like get us checked out and everything?
Okay, that's I think pretty much from the session, and we will.
I have a session on Wednesday. Abdul did not update.
Sorry.
I said Abdul did not update my session Wednesday. Wednesday session.
So it seems like another next steps that we need to discuss here. Another next step is the calendar, the Google Calendar, and getting people access. Because everyone should be able to update their own buddy teams.
Yes, I think that ability will help us update. Because we don't have access, all of us.
Yeah, so that's a huge problem. So let's make sure we make that a next step because like I don't know why people aren't able to access the calendar, but we need to fix that. Asif?
Yes, Jay. So I would like to first, call up Lucy to check out.
Okay. Today's session was nice, and we really step up and make something done. At least we know, especially on Google Calendar, scheduling of our body teams. That's really great for me.
Okay, so now can we have Abdul? Can you please check out?
Good session for me, I think. I enjoy this session and also excited. That's it for me.
Good session as well. I feel like we got through a lot piling up in the few weeks while I've been gone on vacation, so it's good to think through some of the stuff. Yeah, things moving forward on all the exit related things and increasing our client. But I'm really tired. Definitely 75%, 80% session, but there's always that small chance that I might fall asleep and miss it, but check.
So Albina, please.
Also grateful about this session. Discussed a lot of things about the life supports. Now, anything we need to be helped with the program. Yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Okay, so very good. Yes, with others, as I come recruitment in the acquaintance and with the opportunity or job.
Okay, I'll see you guys in like an hour or so.